Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Weeb News. We're doing it again. You can't stop us. This is episode 2. You bet we're headed for number 3, especially now that we found out everybody on Twitter's fake.
Oh my God. It has been freaking insane. Like, I've been calling it Twitter troll trace because there's the episode of South Park where the Danish launched trolltrace.com and there was that massive meltdown that revealed everybody's identity. That's literally what is happening here. So Ian Miles Chong, his location did get revealed later because like when they initially launched, everyone lost their minds. Then like Twitter like stopped it for a little bit, and then it got revealed again, and then everyone's identities got revealed again.
What a surprise.
But yeah, so I know we're going to get a little bit off topic because that is the wrong link that I initially said. But first off, oh my God, seeing the Groypers and the MAGA accounts get exposed as like what was it? It was like Pakistan, Indian, Nigeria, and Bangladeshi accounts. That was freaking hilarious. Oh my God, in Eastern Europe, a lot of them have been getting taken down. And
Thailand.
In Thailand. Nigeria. I've been calling this, a lot of people have been calling this like the next evolution of the Nigerian prince scam, which it totally is.
That makes sense.
I was, especially since a lot of them are in Nigeria. And what's great about this story, because the first thing I did when I saw this happen was because, you know, last week we covered the Tsumi anime farm, the anime engagement farm. And I went and looked at their account, and we found that they were in Africa, specifically in Algeria. And you'll see it. See, that's the Groypers America First. So this one right here, the one that you scroll past, remember this guy during the Assassin's Creed Shadow Scandal?
I got into a fight with him.
Yeah, like he was saying that he was this professor. Well, and some people said that he was a LARPer. Well, yes, he is a LARPer. He was not a Japanese professor. He was based in the U.S. So the people who were saying that he was a LARPer, yeah, he was a LARPer the entire time. So. Wow. Accounts like Colonel Otaku, he unmasked himself as a LARPer a while ago. But this one here, this is the one we were talking about. The Fraud Anime News account. Yep. He's in Africa.
And
North Africa. But if you scroll down, because I tagged Sugoi, you got to go, yeah. I tagged Sugoi, and there's the context for that. But if you scroll down, Sugoi replied to me, and in Anime Empire, he said that he's Algeria, and he forgot to switch the regional display. So yeah, he's specifically in Algeria. So it's not in like, because you would think with an account like this, it would be like in India or in Pakistan or like Saudi Arabia or something, or Thailand, something like that. No, this is in Algeria he's at. And remember, this is all one person doing this. And
right.
An Anime Empire, one of the accounts contacted me or DM'd me and like said that, oh, that's crap. And Tsumi Sugoi is full of crap. It's like, no, Sugoi is not full of crap. Yeah, I know, right? We all knew. And if you were talking about Tsumi, everybody knows that for the majority of people that have been following the Tsumi stuff, we all knew that Tsumi was full of crap. We knew the Groypers were like, there was something going on with the Groypers. There was something sus. Obviously. And then Colonel Otaku, everyone knew something was going on, and then he outed himself as a LARPer
repeatedly.
And he then deleted the tweets, even though like there's something called screen archive and shit like that. And then yeah, they got outed. But I think probably one of the funniest things that's happened from this is the Japanese radical feminists Turns out they're in South Korea.
Before we jump into that one, I do
yeah.
want to pick up Terry Ferguson's comment here. And he says, to be fair, a lot of people around the world like Trump and would like
Which
a
is true.
Trump-like figure to fix their country. A
That
little
is very
different
true.
than impersonating an American and insisting on promoting those values. Now, I don't disagree with what they're attempting to do by uniting these people and talking
Yes.
about the issues that matter to Americans, but they're in India. And so
yes, the other thing though
that's the problem.
the other thing though, and that needs to be taken into account, is some of these people were saying that they voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So
We had
that's
this one
kind
up
of a
here that
problem.
was going off about voting for Kamala.
One of them was talking about voting for Kamala Harris. There was one that said that
There
they
it
were going
is.
to be a MAGA hunter.
And
So
he's Canadian.
yeah. So these are like straight up LARPers.
Speaking of LARPing, though, we were getting into that one. This is the Korean outed account that's been bashing Japanese men for at least a few years now.
Oh, it's so funny.
Excuse me, just about a year then.
It's so funny. Like, I think there's now like 2 of them now that have been outed, if I remember correctly. One of them is this one, and then there was one that was tweeting in English that has been outed as South Korean. I could be wrong, but anyways, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that this is how wars start. Is this kind of stuff where you start manipulating a culture, and that kind of like burns through everybody's ability to sort of understand one another because you don't know who you're dealing with. It's why the Russians were such a threat to us during the Cold War, because they look like us. So they just come over here and get an American accent, and all of a sudden you have Vladimir Putin, the top of KGB, standing next to Ronald Reagan at Disneyland. You know, and we have no idea because they look like us. So that's what happened here. These guys came through and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm MAGA. I'm MAGA." You know, I no, you're not. You're MEGA. Make India great again. Okay, go be MEGA. Go have fun with MEGA. Don't pretend to be MAGA, dark, light, peanut butter flavored, cheese crust, stuffed crust. Don't do that. I'm surprised there isn't a stuffed crust MAGA account. That surprises me. There should be. Somebody get on that. Stuffed crust MAGA. They got dark MAGA, you got light MAGA. Why not stuffed crust MAGA?
The other thing is that, like, similar to what's happening with the Japanese LARPers in terms of the feminists, these people are trying to manipulate American culture to where I think a lot of them are pro-censorship people, and they're trying to censor American media, and this is just insane.
Japan cyber warfare, Xbox, and it's based in Canada. Unbelievable.
Yep, cyber warfare is a real thing.
Oh yeah, that's 5th generation warfare.
Yeah, and it's not simple. It's not just like your typical like hacking and shit like that. No, it's cyber warfare via the culture war. And like, I don't think people understand that how real it is. And I think this kind of gave it a mask off kind of thing.
Oh sure. I mean, there's tons of them out here that are just the Turks. Oh, Bangladeshis were America first. Apparently, there was a lot of them pretending to be blonde women, trying to attract people into that sissy hypno porn stuff where you stop being a man. There was a bunch of those accounts that were in India and Bangladesh trying to lure men to that.
A lot of them were Nigerian, so yeah,
here's a good example.
That's why it's like the Nigerian prince situation happened.
Here's a good example. You have Izana Speaks. It's a woman facing away. Could be a stock
photo. You don't have the screen up.
Oh, sorry. Could be a stock photo of whatever's going on here, and of course she's facing away. You can't see it, and of course it's Pakistan. So that's a dude. That's a dude pretending. Of course, you got Ian Miles Chung there. But, oh, for goodness sake.
These gripers, man.
New Zealand?
Yep.
That's like a 7-hour time difference. This guy's waking up in the middle of the night to listen to Nick Fuentes. Oh, okay. All right.
The other thing that people need to realize is because there's the VPN situation. you got to look at where they're being connected to.
Mm.
Because if you're looking where they're connected from, that's probably going to be where they're located at, instead of like account based in, because you've got a VPN situation there.
Yeah, that's exactly the case too. The this goes pretty deep, and it's been pretty persistent since it started here. That it's just been just one account after another, just fall and fall and fall and bang, 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 bang after each other. There was one of them that was particularly bizarre. It was the Homeland Security account.
That one I saw was fake.
Well, they did a video showing that it was actually happening.
No, they someone like actually did a tweet showing how that was altered. It's crazy good how they altered it, but like the head, I don't remember the head of person that's in charge of it in terms of Twitter. They were saying that all gray accounts didn't have their locations revealed when the program rolled out.
I have no idea how you'd fake this. Absolutely no idea how you'd fake it.
Go to community
and
notes,
it connects to the Israel one there. Well, no, Elon changed it the next day. They said, "Oh, we're not going to do government accounts. It's obvious where they're located," and so all the government accounts lost their location. So, yeah, there's some problems, and of course, people have been bringing up about like how like really hard, like right leaning that account has been, and stuff like that. So, it's been interesting to wonder just who exactly is in control of what. I personally would like to know where the NASA account is connecting back to, where like the IRS account is connecting back to now. I want to know, is that like going off to like the Saudi Arabians? Are they running our NASA accounts? No, anything's on the table now.
Everything, well, I'm really curious about
it's not that it's Israel is running our account, guys. We got to go get Israel. It's that a foreign nation could have been behind the Department of Homeland Security's account. It doesn't Israel's not the problem here. It's a foreign country is the problem behind
No, but like people are trying to make it be Israel's fault because you have a lot of people. The problem is you have a lot of people that are, because of these dumbass groypers, the Groyper influence, because the foreign Groyper influence, they have gotten people, they have gaslitten people to the point where everything is the Jews' fault, okay, my people's fault, and it's so insane. That's what I remember. What I said, this is cyber warfare, propaganda warfare. This I thought was so funny.
The Native Americans are even fake, guys. There's not even real Native Americans online, apparently. They're all Bangladeshi. I thought they were from Siberia, but, you know.
That shit was so funny.
This is just so stupid. Imagine dedicating your life to making people believe that you're a Japanese or, you know, some type of Japanese critiquer or something, and you're not there.
But yeah, like everything is goddamn insane. But yeah, Ian Miles Grifter, as I like to call him, like, yeah, he's everyone thought he was Malaysian, but no, he's in the UAE apparently. I still think that's so funny that one of the largest and they've been doing this for a long time too. One of the largest anime engagement farmers is in Africa of all places, is in Algeria of all places. Like, you can't make this shit up.
This is my favorite meme to come out of this. What country is your Twitter account based in? It's rock solid in my opinion, because it goes back to what kind of an American are you? We can't ask what kind of an American are you, because in Bangladeshi, apparently you're fucking from India, apparently. You know, that it's ridiculous. This is why American political discourse has gone so terribly wrong, is because we have people outside of this realm influencing everything. Irregardless of how you feel about Israel, irregardless of how you feel about the Groypers, they should not be being impersonated by Indians. There was a bunch of like pro Gaza and pro Israel accounts that were like Russian and Indian and Bangladeshi and Pakistani. There was one of them was like as far flung away as like the Cambodia. Like they're just, and they're all posting. There was one guy that was like from India that was pretending he had like 100,000 followers, making lots of money off of his posts that were totally fake about existing in Gaza and going through the.
Oh yeah, that doesn't. I remember seeing that, and same thing with Japan. Like I just couldn't believe you have South Koreans pretending to be Japanese. You have Europeans pretending to be Japanese. Well, like the Europeans and like and South Koreans, that does not surprise me. But like, I mean, I saw the anime tweets account. I'm just like, I'm questioning if they are an engagement farm. I think they're not part of the Tsumi network. I think they're a separate one. That's my guess. But they're based in Hong Kong. So I'm just like, also someone was pointing this out. I wish I would have saved it. Is that they've been seeing accounts based in China. That's why I said you got to look at where they're being connected.
How did they do that one?
Via VPN. Oh. That's why I said you have to look at where they're being connected via from, because you have people being connected via China.
This is me blocking every U.S. political commentary account that is based in America. There's a tick, 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 tick.
That's freaking hilarious.
It do be like that.
But like something that I really don't like that's coming out of this is that there's a lot of xenophobia coming out of this.
Run by Pakistanis. Look at that.
That one, Red Pill
Media.
That's something that's not new, though. People already suspected that.
What? We have Pakistani hunters? But Kenya, of course.
That didn't surprise. That I thought was funny. But still, like, a victim of this is Synthetic Potato. Because Synthetic Potato has been honest about where he's from. He's straight up said that he is from Turkey. And then he gets attacked by people that don't agree with him, his video game reviews. And they're like, oh, because he's from Turkey, he shouldn't have a say on anything. It's like, he's been clear. He never said he was American. So what is wrong with you? You shouldn't be attacking someone if they have never said that they are American. Like, leave them alone. Just because they have a different opinion than you, leave them alone.
Like I said earlier, you've got these accounts out here stirring stuff up, and they're in India. They're not. It's based in North America.
I think, dude, Japanese Twitter has been freaking wild exposing.
I can't imagine how they could be taking this lightly. So
no way.
This was explained to me. I should put something more.
Like go back to the Japanese Twitter thread and go.
There we go. Wait, look at this. So you have Grimmer Wormtongue, account based in Isengard.
No, but go back to that Japanese Twitter thread and look through the replies because they are freaking hilarious.
Where did I put it? It's around here somewhere, I'm sure. There we go.
And also that account deleted. They're gone. They like bailed as well. Some of them like they changed their location too. They changed it from Korea to unknown. This is another one too. Mm-hmm.
First account they gone private. Oh, they deleted their account.
Yeah, their account is gone.
This person says, I really feel like the gender divide, declining birth rate, and overwork issues do exist after all. Now we can check the answers. So
yeah, the South Korean feminists are trying to bring influence their insanity over in Japan.
I never even dreamed that pro-shogi topics would come up in this internet-saturated Reiwa era. That's why life is both tough and fun. But again, like the Japanese, I didn't know this. I was watching, I forget which influencer it was, but they were explaining to me, like, there's a hierarchy of Asians.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you're meeting Asian people, it's okay to mistake them as Japanese because apparently that's the top end of Asians. So they're kind of flattered to be mistaken as Japanese. They're like, oh, no, I am this other thing. And they all agree that Chinese is the bottom.
I thought it was like Laotian and Cambodians that were lower than were on the lower end.
I guess they didn't make the list. That's all I can tell you, is that, but I didn't know this. I didn't know that there was like an Asian hierarchy to who's better. I didn't know this, but so of course the Japanese are pissed that they have Koreans and all of these other
there's
folks
already
impersonating
animosity.
them.
Well, yeah, there's already animosity between Japan and Korea from their history. So, see, as expected, Korea cries.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about too, is the determination conditions to getting your location to unknown. I'm very curious about that.
I suppose that you would break up, excuse me, I was reading Richard's comment. I suppose you would message premium, the help center and say like, hey, my location's wrong. And then they'll like, oh, we'll review it. For now, it'll be,
unknown.
Yeah, it'll be unknown.
You would think it would be like VPN or something like that.
The hierarchy is rice Asians, jungle Asians, communists. Well, does that make the Japanese the space Asians then? They did come up with Space Godzilla.
They did.
So, yeah, the Anu, Burakumin and Okinawan, thank you. But I guess that makes sense because in Okinawa you would most likely have some type of American influence thanks to the base. So if not like an actual DNA part of yourself being part of that, then definitely influenced by the culture. So,
but like as Sorogranda said, is there were tons of rumors that the avalanche of feminism in Japanese social media were actually Korean women in disguise. You gotta wonder how many of the accounts there, like the ratio of accounts, Japanese feminist accounts, are really South Koreans in disguise.
Oh yeah, apparently that locked itself. So there it is. They locked. Oh, that gone. One's deleted. And that one's deleted. Yep. The Japanese Men Archive couldn't hold their unknown status, so they deleted their account, and the other one has to lock themselves up in order to avoid more criticism.
Yeah, a lot of them are locking up. A lot of these LARPers are locking up or deleting.
I really hope that Ms. Takaichi takes this very seriously as an attempt to disrupt the nation's harmony that's already very fragile and decides to extradite these individuals and try them in the 100% conviction rate Japanese courts for an attempt to interfere with Japanese harmony. Because I don't know if there's laws in the book to do that, but there should be.
I don't know, because like what they're doing, what they did is it's kind of one of those things where it is a little bit of a threat to national security in a way, because they're trying to like stop the population from or they're fucking with the birth rate. That's what the South Koreans are doing, is they're fucking with the birth rate. So I don't know, would you kind of consider that like a matter of national security?
Well, when you look at how rabid the feminists are in South Korea, that they have caused such a huge divide between the men and the women.
Yeah.
And they have become militant about it. You can interpret this as an attempt to export that chaos into Japan.
Yeah.
And so that is definitely an attempt to interfere with Japanese politics, because feminists, of course, in Japan are on the march. It does make me wonder how much the South Korean women are invested in the UN's attempts to censor Japanese anime.
That's a good question. Like how much of the insanity that's going on with UN women is being influenced by these South Korean accounts? That's why I'm like, would this be considered one matter of national security that's happening in here, and also political influence and or political interference? And would that be considered under, I don't know Japanese laws like that, but would this be considered a crime? An international crime?
This would be election interference to begin with. If these accounts are posting about the politics in Japan, then they can be determined for election interference. That's why I had to be careful when I was making all of those tokusatsu versions of the Hyogo politicians. I had to stop doing that while the election was finalizing. Because like for the last like month, you're not allowed to say anything about their elections, or else you can get in trouble. And so you have to do that. You can say whatever you like, but as an outsider interacting with the politicians, you have to stop in that last month, or else you're interfering. I guess that's how it was explained to me. And so this whole thing, they can be brought up on election interference, and Japan does take that very seriously. However, on the inverse of this is something that sows unrest, meaning terrorists can come out of this. Now, what I have to remind you is that you just exposed all those groypers being from Africa and UK and all these other countries that have nothing to do with the America first, America only concept. Now, it stands to reason that getting those kids riled up to start a revolution like what's happening in Mexico could be done the same in Japan by riling up the feminists to cause trouble, and boom. It's just, you can't do that. You know, again, Jacob asking the real questions. How do we know Nerdigans isn't really an Indian account? She's a good DNA test, I guess. I don't know. You have to you me and Indian me, I guess.
But yeah, Japan's laws, I think, in regards to this, compared to like the US, it's a little bit stricter. So especially in this situation, I think Japan would take this a little bit more, at least in my opinion, I think they would take this a little bit more seriously. I'm very curious how they're going to handle this.
Well, I'm throwing this at Google. No, I guess Japan cannot arrest people if they're outside of Japanese jurisdiction. However, extradition exists. So
yeah, that's why I was thinking, are they going to extradite them?
Yeah, this would have to be a pretty powerful security, national security law for them. Which again, I mean, in the cyber age, it's something you really need to consider. In fact, I would not be surprised if the LDP convened later on this year or next year to discuss this very issue.
Yeah,
they brought up Assassin's Creed, so
I mean, like considering cyber warfare, and I think they've talked about cyber warfare before.
Yeah, Japan's especially wide open to it.
Yeah, so I think this is definitely, especially with this coming up, they're going to have to convene and talk about it. I think Congress is going to have to talk about it too, considering all things considered.
Mdicky, huh? Mdicky? I'm not sure what Mdicky is. So Alpha Omega says Takaichi isn't going to do anything about this. The U.S. wants SK and Japan. Excuse me. To be cool with each other because China and Daddy U.S. has a strong belt to slap. I see. So these disagreements aren't going to go anywhere. All right.
Well, I think if anything, Japan, South Korea should at least do something about this. That's really messed up. They won't, though.
No, they can't. The feminists over there would rage that, oh, you're giving license to those Japanese misogynists unopposed. We have to help our Japanese sisters. And it's a whole avalanche. But yeah, Alpha's right. You know, they're taking advantage of a political climate in which these two nations can't resolve their issues.
But I think this will at least give initiative to Japan to discuss this kind of cyber warfare.
Cyber warfare, yeah. If not now, they will find a way to punish him for this, you know. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be like South Korea is funding this sort of thing. It could be.
No, I don't think South Korea is funding this.
You know, these internet terrorists, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because
well, I mean, that's
in a way,
this is kind of that way.
That's kind of what, if it is like election interference, then that is a type of cyber terrorism, especially since they're trying to interfere with Japanese politics, and they're doing it in this kind of way.
Yep.
Yeah, that is kind of terrorism. It's not traditional terrorism, but yeah.
Well, again, like it riles people up to the point where they want to fight and they want to take their vote somewhere to get a job done to punish somebody who doesn't exist. You know, and that's the other end of this. But, you know, speaking of cyber terrorism, Assassin's Creed Shadows is back. And as if it didn't take enough blood out of Ubisoft, as you know, Ubisoft is circling the drain right now, looking like Tencent's going to buy them out on the other side. So Tencent, if you're keeping track, will own most of Ubisoft and that new Vantage company, which means, guess what? The Chinese own Assassin's Creed. And what is Assassin's?
You got to make sure it's muted before you forget.
Oh, yeah. And what would be Assassin's Creed attempt at being cool with everybody? Why, yes, a Attack on Titan collaboration, because that's what you wanted to see Yasuke doing, fighting Titans. Oh, boy.
This just screams desperation.
Attack on Titan needed black guys. That's what it needed, because it was racist otherwise. Gotta love it. Like, who thought this up, by the way? They were like, oh, Japanese thing. Aha! What? Who said Assassin's Creed and Attack on Titan are even remotely overlapping at all? Like, I understood the Call of Duty Gundam skins better than this, all right? That makes more sense than
like
this.
Assassin's Creed, from what people were saying in the comments, there's been collabs with like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, but like Attack on Titan is just so random. I mean, Attack on Titan is not even set in Japan.
And that's just it, is they were like Japanese thing and Japanese thing. That's it. That's all they registered to it. It was another one of those things like, this is popular. Let's strap our thing to this popular thing.
You could have done
Attack on Titan end 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So what the hell is this then? They should have done Red Ranger Isekai. That would have at least been more explainable why everybody's swapping suits around. That would have been at least more interesting.
You could have picked like almost any historical based anime that's set in feudal Japan. Like, you could have done.
Would have made more sense, even though he would have been time traveling.
Well, yeah, you could have done Rurouni Kenshin and it would have worked.
You know, somewhat. But again, to people in the West, we don't know any better. We don't know that Rurouni Kenshin takes place almost 200 years after the events of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And they're not in the same universe. It's just the timeline that they're applied.
Yeah.
So again, the West doesn't know that. They don't care. They go, oh, samurai guy and samurai guy. So it would have worked fine. Hell, having a Gundam show up makes more sense than Attack on Titan.
You could have done Samurai Shampoo. You could have done Samurai Shampoo and it would have worked.
It probably would have. Yeah, hell, you could have done the Black Samurai, Afro Samurai.
Oh, yeah, Afro Samurai would have worked here really nicely.
Probably, because I think it's around the same. Yeah, it's about Yasuke, isn't it? Or yeah, it's around this time. It's after Nobunaga's consolidation, I think, is when that happens, but it's before the Meiji era. So I think I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've watched Afro Samurai. I got the name wrong. So again, another grasping at straws situation for the Assassin's Creed brand as they attempt to cling to life. Nobody really expected this, and I don't think a lot of people wanted it either. So, I mean, look at
the comments and QRTs. Everyone's like, who even asked for this?
Is this a parody? Yep, Medic are laughing at you. Yep, that's accurate. Can you make a normal Assassin's Creed Shadows game, please? Yep, that's pretty true. Speaking of normal things, though, it's been a little weird for Mr. Popo over the years.
Yep, so this is for the Dragon Ball popularity contest. So if you go on the Dragon Ball website, you can vote, kind of like what we saw with like Naruto not too long ago. You can vote for your favorite Dragon Ball character. And yeah, so as you see for Mr. Popo in the Japanese website, he looks like Mr. Popo. For the English version of Mr. Popo, however, they made his lips a lot smaller. Even though he is a genie, he's not a black person. He's a genie, or he's a Dinjin. Excuse me. Still, it's like, dude, he's not.
What was racist about Mr. Popo?
People make it. It's like the same thing with Jinx. People have to make it about race.
I was wrong about Afro Samurai. That was apparently set in the future. My apologies.
Oh my god, he's Mr. Popo is like it's not blackface. The people who are trying to make it about race are the racist ones.
Whoever thought Mr. Popo was a black man, though? I mean, I get that he's black and masked and male coded or like male. I don't think Mr. Popo has sex. Okay, I think Mr. Popo fucks.
There's actual black people in Dragon Ball. They exist. It's not Mr. Popo.
Admittedly, they are a little stylized. The black people in Dragon Ball are a little stylized. But it again, it's like, why? I don't understand why Mr. Popo is the problem. There are a multitude of black characters that have some very exaggerated
lips
designs.
specifically.
Yeah. And that and behavior as well. That is, characteristic of someone who does not spend a lot of time around black people and may have only seen them in music videos and comedy movies. And that's fine. What do you want from a Japanese mangaka? All right. What do you want from him? Okay. He was a great guy. He did a good job. Everybody liked what he did. Even the black people think that Goku's their dad. So it's fine. So Mr. Popo being like scrubbed is just, it's another one of those things where like, we heard that they were going to start censoring themselves. That manga CEO, manga firm CEO.
They're doing it for the global version.
Right.
It's only
because they're like somebody
version.
somewhere in Europe or the US is going to interpret Pikachu hailing Hitler. So obviously they're going to think that Mr. Popo is a black man.
And ridiculous. You know what? I've said this. I think I mentioned this before. It's if the global version is going to be censored, it's ultimately Europe and Australia's fault. It's the Karens over there that are causing all the problems.
Yeah, it's a chance to have a reaction to this that is, I can't control what people find offensive. And you're absolutely right. You're not supposed to. Yeah. Buddy Smith here says 4 Kids Part 2. Yeah, exactly. But more ridiculous.
It's like getting rid of the cigarette from Zombie Man. It's 4 Kids Part 2 or 4 Kids the sequel.
Yeah. Sanji and his lollipop, Rouge and her uniboob. Yep. It's just more stupidity that you end up neck deep in. Now, this one was a little confusing to me when you sent it to me, but I just skipped through it, so I understand why people are upset. Apparently, Toei has come out and decided to do an AI visual upgrade for the original Dragon Ball series. It's English dubbed, which again is also going to piss people off. But this is the original Dragon Ball series over on Hulu that is intended to be AI upscaled to 4K, I believe. And as we go through, you're going to see what the problem is. You'll notice. I'll stop it when we get there. Right now, it looks perfectly fine. Your brain's like, yeah, this is Master Roshi.
Hold on, pause it for a second here. But like the thing is that there were fans that already did a really nice upscale. And Toei was like, screw you. You can't do it. That's why people are even more pissed about this.
As you see, everything seems pretty likely. And did you catch that? Watch it again as Master Roshi's sunglasses literally change shape in real time. And there they are. They were great from flat top to arch top. They're becoming his eyebrows. The AI can't tell the eyebrow from the top of the sunglasses, so it's shaping the sunglasses to move up and down with the eyebrows. I do this every day, and I know this stuff. Oh, his fingers are looking a little weird, but it's not so bad. There aren't 100 fingers there. That's normal. That's fine.
Look at the hands.
These are okay. They're fine. That's not a big issue. I don't think the cartoon did a much better of a job with it. But watch Master Roshi. Look at his sunglasses. They've just become Piccolo eyes. They're just his eyes now. The AI didn't know what to do with this. Apparently Yamcha has lost a tooth and regrew one. That's a little weird. But again, this is what the AI does because it doesn't know. It's working off of like, okay, in this previous frame, this character looked this way. In the next frame, his tooth's back. Now it's gone again. It's back. It's gone. Yep, Master Roshi's sunglasses have changed shape again. Here they go. Changing shape again. Now they're Ray-Bans.
Oh, God.
These are the sunglasses the cops wear when they pull you over for going too slow.
It just keeps getting worse, doesn't it?
And for a minute there, the sunglasses were all one thing for like a frame. I think this is the frame. Yep, they're all just one. It's just a solid bar across his bridge of his nose. Again, I work with AI every day, so I understand what this is trying to do. It just can't do it because it's not working with a reference. It doesn't know. Oops, that's not supposed to do that. It doesn't know what Master Roshi sunglasses are supposed to look like. It only knows what they look like from frame to frame that it was shown. That's it. That's all it can do. And it goofed. And of course, this stuff is pretty easy to pull off. Like everything's fine here. This is, again, very simplistic kind of details and things like that, which the AI doesn't have to really guess with. But I am surprised that a lot of these didn't turn into like moving blobs on their own, sliding across the image. Because it'll do that sometimes. It'll turn these shades into rocks because it thinks it's a rock because it doesn't match up with any shadow that the AI can place on a character. So, and his sunglasses have changed shape again. And it's, I understand in animation that, yeah, Ray-Bans to Pit Vipers. You got it. Ray-Bans to Pit Vipers. But that's the problem with the AI is it doesn't know what Master Roshi's sunglasses are supposed to look like. So it guesses from frame to frame. So when his hand travels by and then it goes back again, he's got different sunglasses on because the machine does not have object permanence. Just how
and then you look at the comments, like they'll tell you, like there's the there was another company that was doing it, fan company that was doing this, doing an actual upgrade. See, AB Video, that's who it was. AB Video was doing an AI upscaling work for the first season. And Toei said, screw you. You can't do that no more.
Admittedly, it does look more colorful.
Yeah. This was the French company. It was a French company that was doing it. Yeah. So, yeah. US, this is what sucks, is the US gets really shitty Dragon Ball releases. We've never, like, I think the last time that the US has gotten a good Dragon Ball release or a decent one was the Dragon Boxes. No Blu-ray release of the original Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay. So this guy's mad about the AI. He wants him to completely reanimate the original Dragon Ball. No, that's never going to happen. Why is Goku fighting Obama? What happened? I don't remember this. Anyway, but yeah, it's not going to happen. They quite literally do not have the people to do it. It would get thrown over to JC staff, and you'd want to shoot yourself.
Oh God! But yeah, that's the one from France that they're talking about. Yep. But yeah, it's France. France did a really good job with theirs.
Yeah, I want a properly restored and uncensored home Blu-ray release of Dragon Ball. Well, you are going to need the Dragon Balls for that, my friend. That is definitely not on the list of things that Toei wants to involve itself in.
It's crazy. Toei treats One Piece so much better than Dragon Ball. It's insane.
I don't think that they really know what to do with Dragon Ball anymore. It's one of those ones that's like Evangelion. It's there and it keeps making money, and they're like, okay, let's change Goku's hair again. You know.
I will say this though, like Digimon Beat Break, because the new Digimon, I think Toei is starting to treat Digimon a little bit better because Beat Break, like art and animation wise, is really, really nice. It's very vibrant and colorful, and the movement's really nice and fluid. Writing could be a little bit better. Granted, but there's some really nice stuff going on there.
Well, it's more, I think what's going on with that is that they're trying to revive the franchise. So they're trying to put as much oomph behind it in order to really get that franchise jump started back to life.
I think they're doing a good job with it, if that's what their goal is. Especially compared to Ghost Game. Oh my God, it's a million times better than Ghost Game.
I don't doubt that at all. But then you had Golgo 13 you wanted to...
Oh, yeah, Golgo 13. Like, they actually are reviving it and are bringing a Blu-ray release to Japan. That's huge. Golgo 13 is a very, very old series. The manga is still going for Golgo 13, for Christ's sakes. And it's living the mangaka. The mangaka for Golgo 13, like, died, I want to say, at least a year ago now? Maybe 2 years ago now? But yeah, they found it. They found the anime. It was, as it says here, it was lost for a while, and they found it a couple years ago. So yeah, it's going to get a Blu-ray release in Japan. I don't know if it will get a Blu-ray release in the US or not, because Golgo 13 isn't as popular here as it is in Japan. So it'll probably, something I've noticed with Blu-ray releases in and even video game releases in Japan is that they are getting English subtitles for everything. So it's probably just better to import it, and especially since Japanese Blu-rays releases are just, they just get better quality. They have better video quality. That's what I've noticed anyway.
It was lost. Well, perhaps the original
Yeah, the original releases were
reels
lost.
and things like that were
Yeah.
lost because again, floods and moving that stuff around during floods, you can end up with a lot of stuff just simply in the wrong place. It's sort of like how NASA lost the technology to go to the moon. You know, lost
Or
it.
like the original reels for Dragon Ball, for example. Like it's hard to upscale or upgrade them. You know what I mean?
Sure. I don't doubt that kind of stuff because you know the Japanese are still just moving into the AI phenomenon. Believe it or not, they were not
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
not
edge of it.
surprised. I mean,
So
the Japanese are still adjusting to getting into streaming. They still have
yeah,
broadcast TV.
yeah. It's an entirely different world over there. But speaking of an entirely different world, Frierin's back.
Yep. Freyrin is season 2 is coming out in January. It looks beautiful. Season 2 looks good. I don't know if it's going to get to if you're a manga reader, you know what I'm referring to with the Mott arc. That is probably one of the best arcs of the manga, at least for me anyway. But it looks beautiful. Yeah, it's coming out January 16th. It will probably be available with same day simulcast on Crunchyroll. Yeah, it should have same day simulcast on Crunchyroll. But yeah, Madhouse is doing the damn thing. It looks gorgeous. Unfortunately, because of how popular it is, it has attracted tourists, and it means we need to gatekeep a lot harder. But it is what it is. But I don't know if you've watched Freyrin or not, Cider, but or read the manga or not. But God, Madhouse is just doing the damn thing with it. It looks so beautiful. They've really captured the manga art like perfectly.
Well, and you know, Frierin's telling the story that a lot of I would say a lot of devout people, it's not simply Christians, but a lot of devout people really enjoy is that the demons are always bad. They're not meant to be redeemable characters or have a story you're supposed to sympathize with. Ririn makes it abundantly clear that there's no way back for them. And there isn't. It's not a trick that Frierin's actually the bad person. There's no trick to it. It's demons are bad 100% of the time. And it's very, I would say, jarring compared to like the last 15 years of anime and largely entertainment globally has been like, well, demons have a story to tell too, you know. So it's
Well,
nice to see that Frierin's like, no, just kill them.
now Mott is a little bit different. This is why I like the Mott art, because you get to see a demon, and there's another demon too besides Mott who's like this, where they kind of are trying to explore like why humans are the way they are, and like are trying to like, and Mott in particular lives amongst the humans too, and is just trying to like learn, but he still has that tendency to kill, and he had like a spell put on him so that the humans can control him because he didn't want to kill at all. And there's another demon, that female demon that you see, that does all these different experiments, like because she's so infatuated with humans. So these two demons are very fascinating. That's why I'm like, or it's just kill all the demons. Not, it's more than that. There are demons that are a little bit more complex, that are very. Yes, you will get the demons killed. You will see it, but the demons are a little bit more complex than you think they are. At least in the case of Mott, especially. Mott's story is so good. I like him a lot. I can't wait for the manga to come back. Unfortunately, the mangaka, both of them, the writer and the artist, are dealing with really bad health issues right now. So the manga is on indefinite hiatus. It's been on indefinite hiatus for, I want to say, at least a month now. Yeah, something like that. At least a month now. So we have no idea when they're going to come back. Hell, I don't know if they're going to come back when the anime premieres. No one has a clue. I'm still surprised that Gushing Over Magical Girls came back from hiatus, because it was on indefinite hiatus for a bit because the mangaka wasn't feeling good. So,
well, speaking of hiccups in the production, we do have a comparison of the anime versus manga in My Hero Academia.
okay, so everyone has been praising the hell out of Boku no Hero Academia's latest episode, which is the final episode of the main story. Now, for me, I am going to say that it is, I'm going to be, pause it right here for a second. This is where I'm going to say it is, I'm going to have a hot take. I was underwhelmed, and this is one of the reasons why I was underwhelmed. See that how All for One's tentacles look like a CGI mess, and you don't have contrast. So because you don't have contrast, you can't tell what they're supposed to be. It drove me crazy. It drove me nuts, Cider. I was like, what is this? What is this supposed to be?
A mistake.
Yeah. Oh, and they couldn't make up their damn mind either, because at one point, you'll see it here in a second, they decided to go 2D. Is that it? No. Here's pause it for here for a second though. This drove me nuts because you do have censorship here because of the broadcasting time specifically. You can't have blood. And actually, let me rephrase this. Bones doesn't know what they want to do with their censorship, because in some scenes you see blood. In some scenes you don't see blood. And what drives me nuts is, like, Bones, you need to make up your mind. Are you going to censor the whole thing and not have any blood at all and just insert the blood when the Blu-ray comes out? Or are you going to have blood the entire time? You can't have it both ways. It's really annoying, because then it just gets people, like, it confuses the hell out of people on what you're trying to do. But
no, Richard, that's just as blurry as it is on my screen too. That's not a problem with your stream. That's the motion blur they applied to that, so you wouldn't pay attention to the details that they left out. So, yeah. Are people still doing 3-hour essays on One Furin's FA?
Oh, probably.
Furin's demons are like Tots misunderstood. Yeah. Yep, Toots misunderstood. Yep, you're right. Yes, they are. It's all over X. People just hate the fact that Frieren kills demons. They're like, wow, they could have had a better story. No, they couldn't, because they're demons. That's what they do. Do you not know what a demon is? Like, well, Japanese demons are different. Well, Frieren's demons aren't. How about that? And they can't deal with it. It's sort of like insisting every giant robot anime is Gundam, and it has to obey Gundam's rules. Or Evangelion. Right, or Evangelion, and it has to obey Evangelion's rules. And that's just, nope. It's a really good way to tell everybody you're a tourist and this is your first anime. It's amazing. Yeah, I went to full screen 1080p. It looks blurry. Yeah, both still, exactly. It's awful.
Man, really? I have some of the screenshots. Okay,
well,
here's one that looks good. Here's one, pause it there.
Right.
Yeah. So you see what I mean by the lack of blood? Yeah. There, it's like, and you saw earlier that they have blood on some of the shots. It's like, make up your mind, Bones. Are you going to have blood or not? I understand that it's a time slot thing, but at the same time, it's like you see with Bleach, for example, and One Piece even, they chose to move it to a late night slot so it could the studios could use that slot, take advantage of it, so they could put the blood in there, so it could have the impact that it needs to have. Especially since, like with Bleach, for example, Bleach's final arc is really bloody. This is supposed to be the final fight. This is supposed to be one of the, like, show or depict, like, all the struggle and everything that everyone went through. And this is supposed to bear fruit. And it's like, there's the 2D that I was talking about. It's like, dude, Bones, where'd the budget go?
Well, where did it go? It's still
see what I mean? Where's the blood?
It has to be some type of rule with the Japanese broadcasters, because certain blood is okay. As you can see, Deku's head injury is fine.
There as well with the Yama.
Yep, and so that's fine. But apparently another form of blood.
Pause it here for a second too. Like,
yeah. blood in a different situation. It could be situational blood, could be the thing. If you're showing a character in a certain state, they cannot be covered in blood. But if they are not in that state, it's okay to show them covered in blood. It's probably one of those things.
Well, the thing is even leading up to the scene where Deku was running, part of it is because of the lack of blood, but because of like the art and animation leading up to it, starting like with the fire that Deku has is feeling from the fire Deku has, and then we didn't see like the fire kind of like expand in terms of like metaphorically speaking. That's what I wanted to see animation wise. But when I saw this, I just didn't get that same impact as the manga because Deku looks way too clean. He doesn't look like he's been through all this freaking turmoil and all this trauma. It looks just way too clean. And if you look at the manga panel, you could see like everything that he's been through. You can look at him, it's like, oh my God, he's went through the ringer. He looks like he is just ready for that final fight, for that final clash. You know what I mean? You're muted.
And Richard asks, is this being made for China or other regions? And that leads into what you're talking about, is that I don't believe that. I think there are like actual laws in Japan that forbade, like as Nerdigan says, certain actions and representations of violence in certain time slots. It's sort of like how Saturday morning cartoons can't have cigarettes and alcohol because they're on Saturday morning cartoons. But Spike and Faye can smoke all they like and get as drunk as they can at midnight on Toonami. So it's one of those strange, like, who's going to be watching this attitudes? And honestly, when you were talking about Bleach and One Piece being moved to later times at night, I really think it's because My Hero Academia has built up an audience that won't migrate like that. They have come to expect this to be at this hour, and where this is the final push, that just doesn't make sense to move it. So they're stuck. Yeah, broadcasting issues, not medium issues. Yeah, I really don't think it has anything to like a decision from the animators themselves to remove this stuff. It probably has to do.
That's why I'm like, I think it will be on the Blu-ray. The blood will be, but like, it's not just the blood itself. It's just like you see it in Horikoshi's art. There's like this edginess going on and this hardness. And with Bones, they can't. And this has just been a problem with Boku no Hero Academia as a whole in terms of the art and animation. Bones doesn't do hard and edgy. They are more about soft. And they don't do light and effortlessness very well either. Like, look at Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100, it worked because one's art doesn't have that much line work, that much detailing, and that much shading. And it's very soft. Here, the art doesn't work. The art animation doesn't work for Bones because Horikoshi's art is very sharp. It's very detailed. It's very shading. And there's a lot of shading, and there's a lot of line work. So it doesn't translate very well. There we go. That's the wording I was looking for. Yeah. But you see what I mean? Like, if there would have been like a nice contrast here, this would have popped more, and you would have seen a lot more of. You would have been able to see what was going on. Like, at times you couldn't like see like what the hell was happening in the scene because it was too muddled. There we go. That was another word I was looking for.
Oh, wow. She built a railgun for him.
Mm-hmm. Like, look at Deku here. Like, there better be blood in this Blu-ray because, like, Deku just doesn't look beat up in the face. He looks like he looks like pretty much okay. But God, look how muddled this looks. It needs something. The background needs something to breathe. And I think part of the problem is, and this is a problem in Gachi Yakuta, as well, is Bones is just not blending that CGI very well. That's a huge problem.
And that might be on purpose too. Oh, Minetta's balls aren't popped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I just like
seems to be. Well, I just want to say it seems to be like they are, like you said, they're afraid to commit to the violence. They want to go there, but they're afraid to commit to it. Like one
That's
day they're ready to
right.
go, the next day they're like, whoa, 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 we got to tone this scene. Now we're halfway through it, we got to tone it down. So,
And that's frustrating because this is the final episode of the main story. They should be going, and this is why I said I was underwhelmed. They should be going balls to the walls and going for it. This is not the time to hold back.
yeah.
This is not the time to be scared. And part of me was thinking this when I covered it on Saturday, is I feel like this is like the corporatized version of Boku no Hero Academia. Like this part actually looked good, but
yeah, and you're right with that CGI. It's
see what I mean by it being like a muddled mess. You can't see what the hell is going on.
and they want that. They want that because otherwise, if you are able to see what's going on, you'll note that it is completely different from the constructs that are from the manga, and thus you'll be unimpressed with what they were able to come up with.
Yeah.
What's so curious about this, right? Ignore that AI is something that you could employ to make a copy of this manga, a 3D rendition of the manga design. So just ignore that. But let's instead go over to what happened here with the anime. Is that a lot of that is cloned assets. So they made a tentacle and then they cloned it and moved it. They cloned that tentacle and they cloned it and moved it. They cloned it and moved it. So make one that looks accurate. Like you're not drawing 100, 300, 400 tentacles. Don't lie to me. You're copy and pasting those things like the Persians in 300. So this is what we're doing. And that, so just do one that looks right. It's not hard. Like this is, again, look at that worm looking one over here, right? You see this thing, this worm looking one on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do that one. It's got all the spiky things. It's got the weird bug-looking worm face. It's got the weird tentacle arm build to it. And just copy and paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and bend, twist, bend, twist, bend, twist, and ta-da.
It's not even blended very well either.
No.
It looks, and I said this in my video too, is like something you could tell when it's not blended very well is because it looks so out of place. It looks like it doesn't belong there at all. And I noticed in Bones has just been doing a horrible job in both Gachi Ikuta and My Hero Academia. And people are just like saying, oh, at least it's not One Punch Man. It's like, you can't give Bones a pass because it's not One Punch Man. Like, come on. And this looks okay, but like, it doesn't like have that same impact, you know?
Yeah, the drama's missing. Is what
it doesn't. It looks so what's the wording I'm looking for? It looks so vanilla.
If I'm honest with you, it looks like how Common Rider Phase, or Fives, if you prefer to say it, how his villains would die, is they would dissolve like this. But of course, on the side, the manga is actually like a death. So you have Monster of the Week on the left, and on the right, you have a main character death. That's the difference you're seeing here, is the level of drama in that anime version is just like, oh, well, we defeated the Monster of the Week, guys. Whereas this one is actually showing the shattering of the villain.
If you go back a little further for like the final clash too, it's like the final punch. That I think it's that part bothered me too. You don't have I think it was here too. You don't have that same intensity either. The thing is that, like, I would understand if this was like a low budget anime. I would understand. I'd be annoyed and I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is a bastardization. But I'd be like, okay, this is a low budget anime. I could understand. But this is Boku no Hero Academia. This is a high budget anime. And this is the final episode of the main story. This ain't the epilogue. This is the final episode of the main story. Where did this budget go?
Well, we saw it with Dragon Ball Super, you know, when it was the time to end the fight with Jiren, and it took all three of them. Like that was some really cheap animation when they did that. There was a lot of dynamic motion in it, but the animation itself was very flat, very uninspired. And it just seems
uninspired too.
I guess maybe they're tired. You think they're just tired? They're like, let's just get My Hero Academia over with already.
And just move on to Vigilantes.
Do you think that's what the thing is? Is they're just trying to ship it out? It just doesn't matter anymore?
I mean, look at this. This looks okay, but it looks so muddled. I mean, look at that panel. Like, I wanted to see something like that where you
They're
have
not
like
even remotely
everybody
the same. Yeah.
You like have everybody. That's what I was talking about, like with the flame that you saw with Deku. He was talking about like how he could, even though One for All is gone, he still has like that fire left behind. I wanted to see that fire like expand as you know the rest of the fight was carrying on, and then like have what you see in the manga like be the fire and then like come together for that final punch. That's what I kind of wanted to see to make it kind of more of an emotional impact. But
we've seen over and over again that they can, you know, do these shots from the manga very easily. Is that you have the foreground character, you have Deku, and oh boy, I just forgot his name.
Are you talking about All for One?
This is the body of the boy.
Oh, Shigaraki.
Shigaraki, yeah. So you have Shigaraki, All for One possessed Shigaraki, and Deku in the foreground. But you take this stuff right here and put it in the background, then do the shatter shot. Yeah. Where you have their faces all lined up around, focusing in at that punch. So you can visually show everybody, yeah, all your power now, that kind of thing, all in one shot, angled at the villain, where that punch is, so your eyes are drawn from the heroes you know to the punch that's ending the fight they've been working toward.
Yeah. So, and it would be a lot more inspired.
But no, we've got just some exploding random guts and Deku standing there, kind of looking like Kenshiro, not Deku.
And also, it looks so muddled.
Yeah, and I don't know why the cross is there. The power of Christ compels you.
It's just like, that's the problem. I feel like that they were trying, Bones was just trying to like cover up its shortcomings, and it just didn't work. I mean, look at this.
That is really dumb.
There's like no room to breathe. There's no room to breathe.
And this is another one that could be a shatter shot as well. That you have the tentacles cutting through the various characters in their locations. You could have done it. You could have done that as just an overlay feature instead of having a Red Riot, right? Yeah, it's Red Riot just like standing there mostly by himself, gawking at this glowing tentacle butthole. It's just like off. Yeah. Again, the drama isn't there.
Yeah, it looks so
even without the blood and stuff. It's Monster of the Week was defeated by Anime Power Rangers. It's just
it looks cheap. It just doesn't look like this is the final boss of a
grandiose. That's the term.
Yeah, that's the term. It doesn't look grandiose. It doesn't look badass. Like it doesn't give like it gives like something that out of a Togen Anki level budget of anime and not a Boku no Hero Academia level budget of anime.
Yeah. There were a bunch of these on
like at least this is like at least you can see what's happening in the scene with Shirakumo and Aizawa here. Like it gives it gives you some room to breathe. But I wish the head for Shirakumo's head, I wish there like how you see how there's more motion in the manga panel. I wish it wasn't so muddled. I wish it was like there was a little bit more to breathe.
RJ McReady says taking shortcomings and making them worse is what adaptions are mostly doing.
It's been like this for years. I said this like I want to say in 2018. This was when I call it the when the modern manga renaissance movement started. I think it was when we had the Psychos and Tatsumaki fight in the One Punch Man manga. I said that manga was going into a golden age and that anime was going into a dark age at that time. And yeah, I got so much shit for it, and boy was I right. I'm still right. That anime is going deeper and deeper into a dark age, and manga is just going more and more into a golden age. It's still I'd say like it's in its third stage of renaissance thanks to Record of Ragnarok. Because man, manga art is just insane right now. It is beautiful, but look at that. There's no room for it to breathe. You need to have contrast so you can see what the hell is happening in the scene.
Yeah, the dark gray background is killing everything.
This is one of those times where you need like a blank white background or something so you could see what the fuck is happening.
Well, even if you did this smoky background, right, that they've got there, this cloudy smoky background, you can make it pink. No one's going to be annoyed by a pink cloud in the background. They're not going to. It's all through anime.
Or like a yellow or something just to reflect the explosion.
Right,
like,
a high frequency color. Right, and that would have changed all of this. Like even with the giant tentacle scenes, changing the ground to some type of warped purple would have helped display that these black tentacles are moving through this purple ground.
Well, that and it would kind of
all getting lost together.
Well, also like kind of it would give that like underworld effect because that's what they're in. They're kind of like in hell in a way, hell on earth. And then them, if you would would have changed this into like more of like a bluish background, kind of giving that symbolism of like that heaven breaking into hell, like the hell breaking apart kind of thing, then that would have worked and you would have been able to see what's happening. But yeah.
And it's still very flat. Don't really care. You
can't sit like this is so flat. It's just like when I saw it got a 9.9 on IMDb, I'm like, did we watch the same thing?
Well, it was all this is that fulfillment syndrome.
Look at that. Look how round it's round compared to like straight. Like it's like an aura versus like a pow.
Yeah, it looks like they're punching Deku's Kamehameha wave before it can go off.
Versus like the comic book effect.
Right.
Which is what Horikoshi is going for, because Boku no Hero
we don't have
is based off of Marvel comics. So.
We don't have the light versus the dark contrast that's necessary to tell you that although these characters are fighting, they are supposed to be emblematic of good and evil at their maximum, at the peak, the apex of these concepts. And we're not getting that here. We're getting purple guy and green guy are going to beat each other's ass, and somebody's arm is disconnected out of reality helping. Or hurting. We don't know if these are helping or hurting because again, they're coming from from Shigaraki's side. So no, wait, no, you're right. That's even stupider because like, look, you can tell that Shigaraki in the manga panel is summoning these other arms, whereas in the anime, it just looks like other people are like punching through the purple energy to punch Deku.
Yeah.
Stupid.
This it looks okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
It is lacking the drama.
It could use a little bit on Shigaraki's side. It could use a little bit more black to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it looks okay. God, that face. Oh my God, that face is so bad.
He looks like a girl.
Deku looks okay. It could look a little bit softer in the face. But like here, it just doesn't have that same impact. I don't know. Maybe it's because of how the clouds just don't have like enough shading in it to give that same impact. But
they're not tight enough to show you that the shockwave of Deku's punch has thwarted the hellscape and returned the holy light of the sun to the earth again.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The clouds are just there. It's just an average Saturday afternoon and some dude fucking exploded.
So that's just what it is.
And the manga is just like the hell has ended. The demon has been slayed. And that's where like the goodness is burning through the darkness. And it does look like the clouds are on fire here, whereas they're just sort of like, you're expecting him to land and then a plane to go over the head. And then like that Digimon movie song, it's been 2 weeks since you talked to me, song to start playing or something, like the punk ska to start playing. It feels like the punk ska part of Digimon is supposed to kick in now.
But yeah, but like, I'm glad you're seeing that. Would have been great. Seeing.
I gotta do that. I gotta find the scene and like do that hard transition of like Deku destroying Shigaraki and then like here we go. It shifts into the Digimon movie credits,
Oh my God, I so could see that.
Let's kick it up together.
But man, I'm glad that I'm not losing my mind and that you could see what I'm seeing.
Oh, absolutely. Every part of it. It's
because everyone was saying like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how are you not seeing this? How are you not seeing that this is how underwhelming this is? For a high budget anime that's been going on for 10 years, for the end of this fight, for the end of the main story, like, how is this not underwhelming to anyone else?
To be honest with you, I think it's the fact again of just like that fulfillment syndrome. Deku is cloud seeding. Yep, he's the reason why we have Deku is chemtrails. You got it. I believe it. That's what One for All is all about. It's geoengineering. But anyway, the thing that we're kind of up against with this as we're noticing these warps in the anime is it is a very sad realization that the institution that we grew up with and became so foundational to how we're, even interpreting our own local entertainment, it's fading. It's meeting a very sad slump. I wouldn't say end, but a slump.
Well, it's in a dark age right now, but
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's in the dark ages right now because they don't have enough people for it. I mean, even if everyone in Japan decided to be an animator, it's not going to solve the problem.
Well, the problem is that like there's this high demand because of the streaming services are a huge problem, and there's a lot of the directors are getting hired on multiple projects. There's that, and
well, it's not a passion industry anymore.
Yeah, it's been corporatized.
Not that it ever was really like about the artist per se. It was always about making money. Let's not make any allusions to the Japanese being like altruistic in this sense. But when they were putting out stuff like the original Dragon Ball series and Astro Boy and the original Gundam series and on up through, arguably, at the very least up through Seed, it was very, I don't even like Seed, but I'll admit it. It was passion. These people were truly invested in the project that they were bringing to life. And as you've explained, the demand for content has robbed the ability for people to become impassioned about their work anymore because it's bang out the door. We got to move on to One Punch Man now. Bang out the door. We got to move on to this next thing. Bang. We got a Gundam coming through. There's no time to sit and be like, I love this particular frame that we have drawn, gentlemen. There's no thought process about that anymore. This is a job. You got to complete it.
Well, the good news is that there's more studios doing in-house animation training. So you got Trigger doing it. You have Aniplex is doing it. And then there was a new studio that joined the party. And I sent this to both you and Cider, I believe. Or you, Cider and Spencer. Sorry, okay. I'm really tired. You know that I just sent it to Spencer. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Here it is. It's Bandai Namco Filmworks, who's behind One Punch Man. They're doing in-house animation training now, which is good considering. But JC Staff ain't doing it. JC Staff is the problem.
Apparently, they're using AI.
Apparently, not. I think it's an animation error for JC Staff on this one. But the thing, because One Piece had this issue as well. It was an animator error. But with JC Staff, because I covered this a while ago, is unlike the majority of animation studios that are trying to do like 1 to 2 anime per year, their goal is putting out like 10 to 12 per year. And they're doing a shit ton of outsourcing as well to China. So yeah, until you get studios like that to change, you're going to keep getting garbage. Well,
I don't think that Undead Unluck is garbage. It seems to look pretty well, especially after we saw what happened to My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and what's interesting with this one, this is Undead Unluck is done usually by TMS and Unlimited Produce, which is David Productions animators. But no, this is a different studio working on this one. It is ENH. Yes, it's ENH on this one. Oh, and before I forget, in regards to Boku no Hero Academia, it is getting a brand new OVA. This was announced a little bit earlier today. It's referred to episode 12 because it was only going to have 11 episodes.
Oh,
So yeah, so it will get a 12th episode. I really
okay.
hope that this means that the epilogue is going to be actually better, because I fucking hate the epilogue chapters so goddamn much. Oh my god! But in
Well,
regards to Undead Unlock,
yeah.
this is going to be the winter arc that's getting adapted. I love the winter arc. It's really, really good. I hope they do this justice. It looks, based on what I'm seeing, it looks like it will be done really nicely. It's going to be 1 hour. It's going to be an hour long, and it's coming out December 25th.
Well, I mean, for the winter arc, it's a good time to come out,
Yep,
especially in Japan. Maybe they'll have a KFC team up.
that'd be cool.
Christmas KFC with Undead Unlock. So, winter. It's,
Yeah, it doesn't
there we
look as
go.
good as David Productions art and animation, but it's still, considering it's not David Productions, it looks good.
Well, and Crunchyroll, not to be outdone, decided to wheel out Witch Hat Atelier.
Okay, so this one has a very
Everything. What the hell is it with white hair guy and wearing circular sunglasses right now? Like, this is like the 5th character that has that. That's in like a modern, like today anime. What's
I don't
going on?
know. I don't know. You could put on a tinfoil hat and come up with a conspiracy. I have no idea.
This is it's like somebody, there must have been like a rock star at the time that all these stories are being written that was like very pop. Was it Gak?
I don't know.
I don't know, but Gacket or whatever they call themselves. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but I think that guy had white hair, very very platinum hair. I just don't remember him wearing circular sunglasses. But there's like 5 of them right now. Jujutsu Kaisen has one, and
Yeah,
there's a couple other anime that are just stuffed full of these guys. Like, where are they coming from?
I know, right? They're just going to film everything consecutively because they do not want to make the Stranger Things mistake.
Wow, mistake. You know. Again, Stranger Things' mistake was keeping going after season 1. It really didn't have much of a story to tell after that, you know, and then they started inventing all this crazy stuff about the Upside Down, and now nobody knows what the hell's going on with it anymore. You have a bunch of really strange situations, and I don't really care about Stranger Things anymore. But I'll tell you what I do care about. This official release from Toei about Project Red and Gavan Infinity. Now, if you're not familiar, Super Sentai is going bye-bye, and they're changing everything over into the Universal Heroes. And Universal Heroes is meant to house things that are a reformed Metal Heroes, a reformed or rebranded, if you prefer the term, Super Sentai, a rebranded Kabutak, apparently, and possibly, right, possibly, the Space Sheriffs are returning. All right. Now, I know that's still Metal Heroes, but Space Sheriff was, in my opinion, decidedly different from Soul Brain and Japan, the guy in purple.
Yeah.
And they were decidedly different. And that's just my opinion. That's why I draw the line between Space Sheriff and Metal Hero, because just a different story, different structure, I guess. But this is the advertisement we got for Project Red. And as you can see, this is very much an armored tokusatsu hero in the vein of a Kamen Rider. Pretty close to the chunky armor that we saw on some of the Geats armor designs during the Grand Prix there that they were competing to have their wish granted.
Yeah.
And so we don't have much details about Project Red. As you can see right here, this is going to be Records of Extraordinary Dimensions. That's what that says in teeny tiny font underneath there, and that's what Red means. What we understand Red to be about is that Red will focus on the character being a Red protagonist and traveling through stories, sort of like how Decade was moving through universes, Kamen Rider Decade. It may be a story about new heroes, but they're all going to be Reds. There won't be a pink, a blue, a green, none of that. It's all going to be Red heroes in Project Red. And this will be touring the worlds either that already exist, so we'll be going back in time and meeting other heroes that are adorned in red or perhaps recolored to red, or we'll be meeting new heroes that are, of course, going to be red. I made the mistake earlier when I made the video today of interpreting Project Red as a like future team up with Gavan Infinity. From what Project Red appears to be, is it appears to be its own property that's going to do a crossover setup with other Reds. But as I said, we don't know if these are new Reds or old. So Gavan Infinity is meant to tell the story of a more expanded role for Gavan. And then, of course, Gavan is going to be completely rewritten from top to bottom. It's unclear if he's going to remain Chrome or if this will be yet another Red character. So, the Universal Heroes Sentai project that they were working on is still in progress, where we get these characters that are involved in magic and they have their Kabutak style. Excuse me, help me just bring that up. I keep talking about it and I don't bring it up, and people get confused about what the hell I'm talking about. So, you've probably seen this stuff flying all over X and Facebook or wherever you get your media. And this is apparently a thumbnail for Ants. Gosh,
I really do like the armor for Project Red. It looks really nice. It kind of, in a way, it reminds me of I know it's weird, of the 2017 Power Rangers armor, but I think it looks way better.
It's more tastefully designed.
Yeah, it's like Toei looked at that and it's like, you know what? We'll take that and we'll make it better.
Oh, well, as it turns out, I did make it better myself with my magic AI powers. I went out and decided, gee, what would this guy look like? And this is what I came up with. So as you can see, I extended the armor out. This is what AI and I think that he will look like. Now, I have no resources that say that this is going to be the case. I have nobody telling me anything at all about this armor. I have nothing, okay? I just sat down and I was like, I'm not going to take a guess at what that helmet's going to look like. So a blonde guy would look cool. And, that's what I did. He's still a Japanese guy, obviously, but he's dyed his hair. So, but yeah, this is what I just guessed what Project Red would kind of look like. And it looks cool in my opinion. That's all. I was trying to dig up Kabutak. Sorry. Where did I put that? There it is. So this is Kabutak. Kabutak is.
Hold on a second. That is some Yo Gabba Gabba in Japan kind of realness right there.
Well, the thing about Kabutak is that they transform into fighting badass robots that murder things. So they're cute little mascot robots until they need to defend the day, and then they melt your face off. They turn into these guys and melt your face off. So currently over in China, Kabutak is very, very popular. And this seems to be what is leading to the Universe Heroes yet to be announced name of their Sentai rebrand that will feature three human heroes and 2 robot companions that are not intended to be Rangers themselves, but rather auxiliary weapons and possess auxiliary battle modes and things like that. So obviously the Kabutak influence will be present with these guys. But they're the cute little robots that turn into badasses. So it's new, it's different. And again, this is something that Power Rangers is not going to have any answer for. So that's been the big deal with that one. To make it clear, though, about Project Red, this is not stated expressly to like, haha, we're coming to America to take over, you silly American Hasbro company. This is not expressed in that direction. It's still unclear if Toei is going to do anything else with the Kamen Rider brand that they're pushing through streaming services right now. It's unclear if they're going to push any further with that. It is unclear if Project Red and Gavan Infinity are intended to be brought over in that same manner or just simply be made available to global audiences through whatever platform they're on. Presently, Universe Heroes, Project Red, and Gavan Infinity make no mention of being part of the same family as Kamen Rider. So as it appears is that Universe Heroes is going to be the catch-all for like the past 50 years of Toei properties of people wearing helmets. It seems to be the catch-all. Universe Heroes is going to be the term for that. And Kamen Rider is going to still remain a like monolithic separate brand, so that Toei has 2 tokusatsu brands to come in and beat the hell out of Power Rangers with. So that's the going theory. but there is no outward expression that, aha, yes, we're going to punch Hasbro's lights out with these guys. There's no like word on that. So there you go. I don't know.
We'll see what
happens.
we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. I imagine that Toei is going to do a really good job because this is their rebrand of their entire approach and they want to go global with it. So they're really going to make something that is probably somewhere between a common rider and a space share. So
well, if Toei's going to go if Toei is trying to go like the more mature route, kind of like with what they're doing with Digimon, and I'm telling you, Digimon, I feel like what they're doing is they're going like the more mature route of like tamers in a way. If that's what they're trying to do with Tokusatsu, like go like do like a more mature common rider kind of thing, I think they could do it. I think they could. If it's done right, I think they could do it. But if they could especially take down Hasbro if they do it right.
Still no concrete updates on what's going on with that Disney licensed reboot. So,
I mean, I'm going to say this. Look at Digimon Time Stranger, for example. People are loving Digimon Time Stranger. It's a lot more mature than Pokemon is. The graphics are great. The gameplay is great. And I mean, that's why I'm like, Toei has this really good opportunity to take down Hasbro with this.
Disney Korea, yeah, I don't doubt that. Seems like Disney outside of the regular like standard Disney does an okay job. There was one thing I wanted to talk about in the vein of Common Rider here before we closed out because I know you're tired, Dirtigans. I don't want to keep you too much longer. But there was this scene from the Tojima Tanzaburo wants to be a Common Rider, and this was hilarious. I'm not going to play the audio.
That should be the one for One Punch Man. Yeah.
And this was just a sparring match to this guy, by the way. This wasn't like a full-on fight in the middle of, the anime. This was just a regular old, training exercise for him. So I don't know if you guys aren't watching it. I of course I just don't have time for it. It's not that I hate it or anything. I just don't have time. But this is a fun interpretation of like an otaku getting his wish to come true, kind of, halfway. So it's good stuff. It's fun. But we have One Punch Man now. The comparisons for One Punch Man before we close out here.
It's bad. Like as I was telling Cider prior to coming on, I did per Patreon request, I did a live reaction for this episode. It took me 3 hours to record a 90-minute episode live reaction. But dang it, Cider, where'd you go? Because I needed you to pause it like ages ago. And you're muted.
Is that better?
You need to go back, like way back to like the beginning of this. So first off, let's talk about how bad this is. So look at that right there, right off the bat. Like, what the hell is that trench coat? That is a trench coat. That is not a cloak. And that purple aura is awful. And remember what we saw last week, how JC staff censored Tatsumaki?
Yep.
We're going to see it again. Yeah. And I was surprised that people didn't catch it. I was really surprised. Like people only caught one of there's another girl that censored too. Look at that. They're trying to what JC staff is doing is what we were talking about Bones, what we kind of wanted to see Bones do a little bit. But the thing is with JC staff is that there's so much crap and so many shortcomings JC staff has that all the color in the world is not going to cover it up. There's too much.
It's not even the same arm.
Yeah. And look at that. See? Tatsumaki is censored again. The thigh is censored. And the dress is too big. And the collar is wrong. The collar's too short. Look at that. How is that the same? This one is not as bad. It just looks really weird. Puri, I'm sorry they did this to you, bro. Like, they really screwed you over. First of all, he is stiffer than hell. The stripes are patterns are just a problem in anime right now. I don't know why keeps being the case.
They're annoying to draw.
Yeah. Well, these are stripes though. They're prison stripes. It's not like it's a complicated pattern.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
also,
as Kamchi says, honestly, everything is censored. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
how it's getting.
I feel something I will say though is I remember I've gotten so much crap for like being nitpicky about stuff like this. And Sakamoto Days and One Punch Man, people are starting to see what I've been seeing for years. Wow. And are now like, oh my God, these studios are bastardizing the source material. It's like, now you see it? Look at that! Look what they did to Darkshine.
Okay. So this is obviously one of those we don't want to misrepresent Black people situations. And so they have changed this character to be more flattering in his appearance than he is represented in the manga, as they feared backlash. So similar to the Mr. Popo situation.
And he's also on Ozempic. Like, the majority of men in this anime are on Ozempic. I swear to God. Huh?
They're blind?
No, they've lost weight. They're way too thin. They've lost their muscle. Oh, poor Tatsumaki. Like, you are just getting screwed. Oh, if you thought Tatsumaki and like Darkshine's getting screwed, my poor boy, on my mask, aka Sweet Mask, he is definitely on Ozempic or something, because he looks like he's about to keel over at any second.
They tucked his shirt in.
That too, but wait till you see him next. In the next frame, I think it is. Look at that. He is on Ozempic. He looks like he is about to die.
Yeah, they definitely took the muscle off of him.
Mm-hmm. Why those colors? When I saw this yesterday, I was like, why, out of all the colors, why that pink? You could have done like a dark purple or something to make it look more underworld or evil. But they chose this pink.
The contrast behind him is gone. I didn't even know what was happening here until I looked around for a minute. So if this was just like 2 or 3 frames, I would have completely missed this.
Mm-hmm.
If
there was like a purple there, you might have been able to see it.
The background being like that. Do you remember in the 80s anime, they would light the background up in like that light blue with like that like upside down waterfall effect, so it looked like everything was rising up when the villain would do something like this?
Yep.
And that would create an automatic like contrast with the silhouette of the villain against that background. And for whatever reason, they're like, nah, let them figure out where the bad guy is in this scene. That's how art works.
Also, Tatsumaki censored too. Look at that. She's censored. And people are focused on Mizuki. And it's like, dude, how do you not see that Tatsumaki censored? And also, she looks like ass there. That color palette, though. Did you see? Go back to that frame of Tatsumaki there with that red. That red is a choice. Wow.
I didn't realize that was 5 years ago in this video. My goodness. So
that red.
It looks like Christmas.
That's what I said too. It's like, that's Christmas. And she's on Ozempic too, because look at her face and her neck.
I guess they could have done like a lighter green underneath there, but like maybe that would have been too overpowering.
Or a darker green or something.
It does. It looks like Christmas.
It looks like an evil Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What
was that? That is not even a tornado. Like, what the hell is that? And also, those monsters look like ass, but that's typical JC staff. Like, they don't do anything. What was the budget for this is the real question. Oh my God.
A couple of beers.
Also, how much of this was outsourced to China? Like, I know a lot of it was outsourced to China, but like, what's the percentage? This is not as bad as a lot of the other shit we've seen, but it is bad.
What is this, Harley Quinn?
It says right there, Twin Tail.
No, I know. It just puts me in the mind of Harley Quinn, but a dude.
That
Yeah.
but like look, that gun's like the best looking thing in this friggin' episode so far. That's like the closest to Murata's art that we've seen.
And I don't even think it's a genuine, like, drawn asset by the artists that drew the monster and the background. I think it's an entirely different, it could be CGI.
Yeah.
It doesn't look at all like it's even there. It looks like photoshopped in, like somebody added that and he was actually holding like a, super soaker.
Oh my god.
So weird. Of course. It's One Punch Man. Of course he gets killed through the scope. It's One Punch Man. There's just so many stupidly ironic deaths in this story.
Well, duh. Have you read a one series before? Like,
oh yeah, no,
it does the stupid shit. It does the dumbest crap. Oh god, it looks so bad.
Yeah, they flattened it out again. They flattened the scene again.
How the hell does one's webcomic have more dimension than this? Where's his belly button? His belly button's not there. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, and he's this is again another one where they flattened out the scene in order to get the character right. But,
yeah. And they just still didn't get him right.
Well, that sucks.
I mean, look at the lack of dimension. Poor Flashy Flash. Like, he's a ghost. He's got nothing. That color choice. Oh my god.
Yeah, the red's back.
Also, that hair is bad because it's not supposed to have his ear exposed. It's supposed to cover the majority of his ear. And also that detailing on the arm is ass.
They flattened this one again.
It's cheaper, I guess, to flatten.
They ain't even the same scene.
This is just so bad. Now you understand why it took me 3 hours to record a live reaction for this. Look at the face. Go back to that. Look at that face. That face is so jacked. The poison face. Look at that. Look at that face. It is so jacked. Like,
he looks like an Indian. I'm not saying that because he's brown. He literally looks like how they draw Indians.
Oh my god.
And the Indian, not the Native American kind, the kind that's over there doing the Bollywood stuff. Yeah.
But that jawline is so bad. It is bad. And the cheek is way too full. Ugh. They really did her dirty. Look at that. They censored that. Oh, that's not the first bit, is it? Oh, God. Look, they did her such a disservice. Look at that. Where's the ribs?
Well, they gave her abs instead.
They didn't give her all her abs either.
Well, no, see, in the manga, she has a washboard stomach. In the anime, she has a dude's stomach.
Yeah, and she's also stiff, too, if you notice that.
Like a dude.
Look at that. She is stiffer than hell and she's also censored, too. She's wearing shorts instead of, of a bikini.
They flattened her out, too, with the pose in order to make it easier to draw.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, it's so bad. Look at that. Look what they did. It's just so bad.
This was clearly supposed to be a perverted moment.
Duh.
These are little goblin melons. Yeah. Well, it was clearly supposed to be a perverted moment. And of course, the Western, in order to appease the Western market, they were like, well, we got to make sure it's not too obvious.
Like JC Staff, ironically, JC Staff has bastardized Eden Zero and Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, which are perverted ass series by Hiro Mashima. So yeah, there's more censorship. Look at that. And by the way, JC Staff does not change anything for the Blu-ray either.
Oh, they hit her boobs.
Yeah.
Hit them.
No cleavage there either. Can't get anything from these people. Oh God, it looks so bad. That red is just hideous. Oh my God.
I don't think they know where to put it. That's the thing. They think it
Yeah.
looks good, so they keep using that same vermilion kind of red, and it has a particular pair, and it's not any of what it's been used with. Least of all the green.
Yeah. Oh god, that rhino. Like when I saw that rhino, the first thing I thought of was Rocksteady from TMNT.
Violent Star.
That
Okay.
Violent Star, what I thought of when I saw that, I was like, dude, that is duct tape.
What did he just
That
like spank his butt with it?
dude, that is freaking Rocksteady. That is
Oh yeah.
Rocksteady's as an anime character. You cannot deny that.
Waiting for Bebop to show up.
Look at that. It's just bad. It's so bad. That's Rocksteady.
Yep. Well, probably the intended effect was that too.
I doubt it. I think that was just a happy accident. Oh god, that face is just awful. That was a happy accident for it to look like Rocksteady. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were lucky that came through.
I don't think I wonder if anyone else caught that's Rocksteady, or if I'm just the only one that did. But look at that. That looks so bad. Oh,
There's
god.
all the bad color combinations in one frame. All the previous bad color combinations have been united into one hideous color combination. This is if somebody puked up Christmas.
It's red, pink, green, that neon-ass green, and that blue.
Yep, and then you've got a darker violet down there on his shirt.
It's so gross.
You lose the stick in his mouth too because of all this color flirting.
Oh god, dude, they don't know. Oh god, I feel so bad for you, Murata, because they ruined your good art here. This art is so fucking bad. I said people were saying this is the best part of this episode. What are you talking about? There is nothing good in this episode. Look at that. Look what they did.
Again, they used so much CGI in this. I don't know why they didn't use it here. This would have been like the best time to use it because all the abstract shapes wouldn't have meant a damn thing, you know? Oh, well. That's not too different. I can't give
It's
them
not
too
that
much
bad.
crap about that.
Oh, poor Flashy Flash. You got really
Oh, no,
screwed
I
here.
think I know what the problem is.
What?
The perspective's wrong.
Yeah.
So they flattened the camera to be like this, but the rain is still falling at you like this from the sky. So it looks like he's leaned back like this, you know, like he's tilted back.
Yeah.
You know, whereas we're at a low angle looking up. Now we're looking flat at him and the rain is still falling at us as though we're looking up still.
Oh, yeah. And also
that's the problem.
Yeah, and I think the sword is wrong too.
It's at least less curved, that's for sure.
Well, no, it's two-toned, the sword is.
Oh, yeah.
So the sword is wrong. The monsters look so bad. They don't look scary. And also Flashy Flash, what they did looks so bad because that needed black really bad because it looks like just one thing. It looks like a random energy aura.
You don't even know which way it's going.
Yeah.
Because he's blending in with that background, with that flash so much that, pardon the pun.
Also and also like the final portion of it, he's supposed to jump and go. Instead it's straight. It's a straight line. God, see, I'm telling you, Darkshine is on Ozempic.
At least on his nose, that's for sure.
No, his whole body. Same with Big God. He is on Ozempic too. He should be way fatter than that.
They could only fit so much man on screen, I guess.
Same with Purry Purry. He should be way thicker than that. Look what they did to her face. Her face looks so bad.
So the color, why didn't they use this color earlier?
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of that red, they should have used like this weird, I don't know, what is this?
Lime green?
Mellow yellow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But look at her eyes, though.
Yeah.
Those eyes, like, what the hell?
They look less crazy and more like she's trying to remind somebody to put up the seat when they go take a pee. Doesn't she? She looks like she's trying to remind somebody to like wash their hands after they touch their dick when they pee. It doesn't look like she's threatening anybody. She just is like, by the way, it would be nice if you didn't touch the door handle with your dick covered hand.
She looks like a Karen.
Yep.
A child emperor is still not looking like child emperor. Do this. Oh, Giro is on his epic too. And he looks more like a blob than anything else. He technically is a blob, but he doesn't look like he has anything on him, like lines or anything. You can't even see him. Yeah. And Homeless Emperor got it the worst out of all of them. He looks like he lost some muscle.
Yeah, the JC staff must not have the time to draw muscle.
And also Ricci looks really bad too. And so does Atomic Samurai in the face. He looks a lot older in the face. That's what I've noticed.
In the manga, he's more pointy in the face. In the anime, they have squared him off.
Yeah, it's in the cheekbones is where they made him look older. Dude, he does not look... Giro does not look intimidating, and neither does Ricci. Look at that. Ricci in the background looks so bad.
He looks like he's on a billboard. Like we've interrupted the fat guy while he was playing his like RTX on Minecraft or something. It looks like he's watching a movie.
No, he looks like a CGI Titan from Attack on Titan.
I guess, but I mean, like, it just doesn't... The way that they've drawn that character's lighting versus how the lighting is being moved into this scene, it looks like that's a television screen. It doesn't look like...
Yeah, it looks like he has Attack on Titan on in the background.
Yeah, like he's watching Eren tear apart the Beast Titan. And that's what he's like, why did you interrupt me? This is my favorite part. But that, again, like the shadow's wrong on him. And I understand why people are upset about this scene in particular. It's just
no one's talking about it. Like I think we're like the only people that have noticed it or even talking about it because everyone else is upset about the other shit. Look at that though.
It's not even the same object. It's not even the same object.
Look at that. It's like, what the hell is that? Is that like a haunted box?
It looks like there's, you remember the dinosaur chicken nuggets?
Yes.
It looks like it's covered in like dinosaur chicken nuggets. It doesn't.
Oh my god, it totally does.
It doesn't look like a creature that has been compacted into a cube.
Look at that! Oh my god! Like, is that Attack on Titan in the, like a weird Titan in the background from Attack on Titan?
And still, it looks like a television. It looks like a television. It does not. So when we look at the manga, right, the light is moving into the space.
Yes.
So it's not. So when you turn on a television, the light has an ambient effect, meaning it fills. When you have a flame, the flame is so intense, it creates this hard contrast where you can't see the floor. I'm sorry, I'm pointing to my screen like you can see that. So you can't see the floor down here because of the intensity of the flame erupting around this character. Okay. Now you see that play on the light of this character here and how his fat on this side is starting to shadow and his very dark shadows on this end, whereas it's very bright and difficult to see what's going on because of the fire. Over here, it just has an ambient flat orange glow the whole way around. It's not responding to the flames being more intense over here. Where's the light coming from that's creating this consistent lighting effect, as well as from the top, leading to this light being here? It's not present. The only place where that intense light source is back here at the bottom of the creature's neck near his shoulder, which doesn't correspond with this light and makes it look like it's on television. The television's emitting the light into the room. I hate that I noticed this. I really do. I could be so much happier if I was like, haha, fat pink man.
Like, dude, like, now you understand what I've been dealing with for a long time when I cover like manga to anime adaptations. It's like I notice like these little things like this.
One of the scene on the right.
The
scene on the right is very dramatic. The other one's like, I gotta take a shit. You guys gotta leave now.
It's Sylvester Stallone like going to take a shit.
Hey yo, I gotta take a dookie. You gotta leave.
And then on the right, it's Sylvester Stallone. And then on the right, it's Sylvester Stallone being like, I'm going to go whoop some ass.
Yeah, it has an intimidation factor over here. It looks like he has to poop. And he's telling his friends they got to leave because he's got to poop. I don't know. It's just the first thing that came in my mind when I saw
that.
Look at
that. See, Tatsumaki's censored here too. Like people were like, where? You have to look at it for a second,
It's
but she
not
is.
as bad, but it's
But
there.
it's
You
there,
know,
and
it's not
also the
as
dress.
bad, but it's there. Yeah.
But also the dress is still saggy. You could tell it's
Yep.
saggy as well. Like I'm like, maybe it's because it's my ADHD that I can notice these things. I don't know.
Mm.
But like it's still bad.
Yep.
It's so bad. Oh, I guess it didn't show the CGI. Hold on. Let me or the six fingers. Let me grab that real quick cuz like I could not believe that it was there. Where is it? Here it is. They gave Mizuki, the muscular female character, they gave her 3 boobs and 6 fingers. If it, I think it was more so an accident than on purpose because again, this happened in One Piece where the animator gave a character 6 fingers. But look at that, they gave her 3 boobs.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there. There's the third boob.
And then they gave her 6 fingers.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's like people are like, oh, it's AI. It's like, no, I think this was an accident. I think this is again, this happened. The 6 finger thing happened in One Piece. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago, and the animator came out behind it, came out and said it was an accident. This wasn't AI.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't, I can't 100% tell you it is an AI, but it doesn't look like AI. So when an AI is animating anime, sometimes it has the appearance of that cell shaded 3D effect from Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Yeah.
Some of the modern mecha anime use it a lot, Gundam especially. So when the anime moves through, it doesn't typically pull from animation. It pulls from a 3D source. So that animation that you're used to seeing moving in a 2D effect is now moving in 3D. So what I'm trying to tell you is that fifth knuckle that this hand has should be more CGI looking than it is. And that's what I think means that it's 2D. So that's my best guess. But there you go.
But the boob, do you think the boob is CGI or do you think that's an animator error?
That's an animator mistake, and it was probably from the original, like the guy that originally did the sketch of how that was supposed to look. And because they were trying to illustrate that her medals were pushing down on her, that ended up coming through as third boob or tumor boob.
Yeah, that's what that makes sense. But like, people, I've seen it from the One Punch Man, Western One Punch Man anime community claiming that this is AI. I'm like, I don't know, especially based on like what we saw with the One Piece animator. I'm like, I don't think it's AI. That don't make sense.
I have never encountered any of the AI generators that was ever confused about how many boobs to give a woman. That seems to be like the thing it understands. It screws up your hands, screws up your face, screws up your armor, but it never gets the wrong boobs. Never gets the wrong boobs. You'd think if you're gonna get one thing right?
But like, don't you
have a super chat though?
Oh, okay.
This comes from Kamchi, and it says, "Did JT hire amateur JC staff hire amateur oversee AI or all sincere mix?" I would say, like Nerdigans was saying, it's a mixture of people being overworked and people being outsourced and overworked. And nobody's really paying attention to what they're doing. They're just told you got to get it done this week, and they're like, "Well, whatever."
They actually, doing it. If you look at the staff listing, because they do release the staff listing for each episode, it does reveal that a lot of the episodes were outsourced overseas. And the thing that I don't know, because people are like, oh, we waited 6 years for this, it took 6 years. We don't know when this started production. We don't know. We have no idea if it was 6 years in production or not. Because
they're gonna blame Sora.
Because the only thing that I saw was the producer of Studio One at JC staff saying that they were starting to work on it after working on a rom-com. That's all we saw. That's all we saw before, like before we got any staff releases. Yep. So And then the thing that really caught my eye, I'm glad it wasn't Studio 3 that worked on it, is that there's a studio that opened up, because they have 3 studios. They had 2 studios before Studio 3 opened up. And when Studio 3 opened up, within a year, they worked on 3 anime consecutively, 12 episodes a pop consecutively.
Doesn't surprise me.
And the producer said, or the head of the studio of Studio 3 said, they were exhausted. And again, this was over 1 year period. Studio opening within the studio opening, they worked on 3 consecutive anime. Like, these people are overworked because they're trying to get 10. That's why I'm so surprised. No one, maybe it's because I looked into this. I don't know. I'm so surprised that like people are not talking about how, because they bitch about MAPPA doing slave labor. What JC staff does, I think, is more akin to slave labor than what MAPPA does. It is insane what is going on over there. And by the way, they did change the web. I checked to see if the stuff was still there that I found. They changed the website, so it's not there anymore. I'm glad I screenshotted it. But yeah, it's wow. They changed it. So, because I was so surprised that they allowed their members of their staff to literally say this, to admit that they have no, one of their studios had no security team or security or cleaning staff. But it's just, no, they don't use AI. Overseas don't use AI. For when they outsource, from what I understand, they don't use AI for their outsource work. They have China doing art and I actually did an article on this when the COVID stuff happened. The COVID delays happen. China does a lot of they outsource a lot of the stuff to China, and I think it's also South Korea as well. Yeah, it's China and South Korea that they do the most outsourcing to. They're trying, by opening or by doing more in-house training, they're trying to stop it. Toei, by doing AI for certain tasks like in-between animation and stuff like that, they're trying to stop doing the outsourcing. I know people talk about unions, but unions ain't happening. It's not. They tried to do union. The animators tried to unionize before. It's not going to do crap, because they're just going to outsource to China because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
There's still one union left, though, and that's at Toei, and it's not doing very well. So good luck. There's unions for the writers and for the voice actors, I believe, and they're doing fine. So, they do use the AI.
I wouldn't discount it, but I wouldn't say that they wouldn't own up to it. Is the thing, is that it's so obvious when it is used. And again, I use it every day, so I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing that an AI made 6 fingers and I can't tell, versus an animator who's tired made 6 fingers and we could see that.
An overworked animator. Like,
and that makes more sense. Like China, again, not a place notorious for great worker conditions. So
that too.
I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that somebody just blind tired was like, we have 5 fingers and 1 thumb, right? That's whatever. Somebody's got hands like that, I'm sure. It's One Punch Man, and they just moved on. And so that's all. But so nobody's denying that the AI isn't capable of it, guys. What I'm trying to explain is that it doesn't seem likely that they wouldn't own up to it. That's all. It seems like they had to come clean about that PNG sliding down the hill. Yeah, it was obvious about that, and that's what I'm trying to say, is that if they're using AI, it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't own up to it, or at least provide some context about why it was used. It seems to be getting blasted out all over the place. So.
Well, then you got the One Punch Man fandom, like, thinking that if they boycott Bandai Namco, that if they do enough, that they're gonna either cancel the season or get the anime moved to a different studio. And it's like, if anything, you're going to get a studio scared to even touch the property.
Well, yeah, I mean that's again like that's you're working with an entirely different animation environment than when we grew up, on both sides of the Pacific. So
Well, it's been like
it's
that for a minute. Like that's how the anime industry has been. Like if you like boycott and like have all this backlash towards the animators and whatnot, all it's going to do is scare a studio from touching the property, and you won't get another season of that anime. But some people are like, I'd rather have no studio touch it and bastardize it than have another studio touch it and botch it. So I don't know, like. And it's like people think that that One Punch Man is like the biggest property in the world. It's like, no, you are nuts to think that One Punch Man is like Bandai's biggest property and biggest moneymaker when Gundam exists. Gunpla Bandai's biggest moneymaker.
Yeah.
Especially in Japan. That's its biggest moneymaker. And I think
plastic
it's starting
crack.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to make a little bit more money in the US now because it's more widely available. Like it's at I think some of the toy hunters that I've watched, because some of the toy hunters I watch are Gundam nerds. They've seen them at Target, they've seen them at Barnes and Noble, they've seen them. I think there's been a couple at discount stores too. They're at Hobby Lobby. They're starting to become more widely available. So people are able to access Gunplas now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they're going to be building a Diver City in Boston next year. I want to say I heard that. I could be wrong.
Tamanashi Nations is in New York, and I think there's one. There isn't one in San Francisco. There probably will be one in San Francisco or Los Angeles at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like people that say that they're going to take down Bandai Namco by boycotting. You got Digimon that you're dealing with. You got Boku no Hero Academia you're dealing with. You got Bandai owns Banpresto, which is figures and statues. You're not, and they're everywhere now. You can get Banpresto statues like for under $20 at discount stores right now. They're everywhere. So it's like you're not going to stop. You can bitch all you want, but they're not. Bandai is not going to listen to you. They'll listen to Japanese fans maybe, but I don't think the Japanese fans really care that much either. To be honest, I think they're looking at the American fans like they're crazy.
It's tough to say, because as you said, there's so many things that are upside down and backwards in entertainment right now. I honestly can't tell you if that's like a sincere situation or not. I know the Americans become obsessive, but it is a tourist style obsession. I mean, where like One Punch Man's the greatest thing because it's the only anime I've ever invested myself in, and that's
well, like there's some situations like Kagurabachi where it actually succeeds, but like that ended up where it started off as a meme and it ended up becoming popular in Japan. But it's not like something where it's like a review bombing situation where they're just like, oh, we're going to review bomb the hell out of it, or like tank the IMDb rating and be like, that's going to get Japan to listen to us, is bomb the hell out of the get the IMDb rating to like 1.0 out of 10. It's like Japan does not give a fuck about that. At least I don't think so. They may care if the rating is down. If Japan loses money, they might care, but I honestly don't think Bandai Namco Filmworks honestly gives a fuck about what the Western audience thinks in this situation. I really don't.
We'll have to wait and find out. Everybody's going global these days.
Yeah, they are. But like the majority of people that are bitching, and this is why I don't think they care, the majority of people that are bitching are more than likely pirating.
Could be.
That's probably why they don't care.
That's all I have for tonight.
Yeah, I think if we did any more, it'd be a little bit too much. But yeah, I got the main stuff that we wanted to talk about, which was the Twitter troll trace the My Hero Academia, and One Punch Man season 3, because that's like those are the biggest topics going around right now on social media and in the anime community. But anyways,
yeah, some of it anyway.
so
And that's it's quite a bit of it going around too. So
yeah,
I do want to, before we break out here, I do want to remind everybody that we do have a new streaming schedule. You'll be seeing Spencer tomorrow at 11 a.m., Wednesday at 11 a.m., Thursday at 11 a.m., Friday would take a little bit of a breather, Saturday back at 11 a.m., but this is PST this time, so it'll be around 2 p.m. for those of us on the side of the coast where the sun rises as opposed to sets. Sunday, not available again. As I said at the top, though, we are on Kick now. I don't know if it's worth being on Twitch, but we'll find out very soon. But bounding into comics over on kick.com. So this has been the weekly Weeb News. Thank you very much for being here. This, of course, was the replacement for 01. So I hope you're enjoying this. And we'll catch you next time, guys. See you later.